Okay, folks, today's date is, excuse me with the way I look. Today's date is, August 18th, 2022, and I'm at the, excuse me, please. I'm at the 28th New Age area. I just moved here last night. And I want you to take a look at my eye. Right up in here. Okay? Let me show it to you. See that? Right up in there? Alright? And on the temple area over here, how it's all swelled up. Well, they hammered me last night as I was sleeping. I'm going to make this brief because I don't feel good. I just woke up about a half hour ago. And, so what you want to do is take consecutive snap screenshots of my eyes. Okay? And what you should be able to notate visually is the outline, the partial, at least the partial outline of the non-consensual light crystal ocular islands and plants that are in my eyes. And part of the reason why they're at least partially visible is because they hammered me all night last night with directing. I mean, look at my eye. Look at my eye. Look at it. They hammered me all night last night to the temple, all over this area and to the eye. And so let me just briefly discuss. Let me show you my eyes. Now, what you want to do is take consecutive snap screenshots over and over and over, back to back, of the eyes. And I'm going to set the phone down just for a second and just briefly, really fast, on what I endured last night. Now, I just moved. All right, hold on. I just moved to this area last night. I was on the property yesterday. Let me show you where I'm at. I was on the property yesterday. I got up yesterday morning. The crime of gang stalking made me homeless in 4 apartments in Michigan and 1 in Tennessee. And I was on the property yesterday, and yesterday morning when I got up, I was being heavily targeted to the abdomen, which has been non-stop targeted now. All right, hold on. Which has been non-stop targeted now every single day for going on 5 weeks. And we're talking about targeting to the abdomen, which has been extremely debilitating. Non-stop. 98% of the time on the left side. Now, there is an extreme likelihood that that type of targeting and other type of targeting I'm enduring is radiotelemetry, directed energy weapons. Hold on. Which makes it almost impossible to escape from. Now, all my descriptions can be Googled to gang stalking. The mass murdering filth who are hosting this crime are. It's widely reported they're doing, gang stalking is being experienced by hundreds of thousands of Americans. Tens of thousands of those are online reporting it daily. But I don't want to get into the regular spiel of of what I usually state in videos. This particular video has got its own specific subject matter. So I woke up yesterday morning, and what I'm about ready to describe is what has been going on identically for 5 weeks now. Okay, on the same fucking property. So let me just make some fast, detailed statements about it. I've been heavily targeted to the left abdomen, non-stop for 5 straight weeks, and not just the abdomen though, also the stomach area. Okay, along the waistline and mid-stomach, about within 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches above the belly button, within 1 inch, 1.5 inches below the belly button. And in a minute here, I'm gonna, if it's still there, I'm gonna show you a burn on my right along my waistline. Let me check real fast to see if it's still there. Yeah, it is. So let me show you this, because I don't want this to go away without making some type of visual evidence a lot concerning it. So this right here, bear with me a second. This right here is my. Make sure I'll leave it captured. See this right here? This is where these little sick, filthy whores. Okay, there's an extreme likelihood if there's any radiotelemetry going on. This is where it's being attacked at, and the energy beam is going in here, causing extreme stomach cramping, okay, and abdomen cramping. I also get hit over towards the side, okay, and on the abdomen and the back. Now, this has been here for at least 4 straight days, okay? And I've been targeted to the same spot, okay? Repeatedly for the last 5 weeks. And this is what is assisting in the extreme abdomen cramping, because when the energy goes in, especially any gang stalking victim who's got multiple implants in a specific general area, okay, when you're hit to one, that energy will go into that area and possibly even spread out and about to where then the other implants are interfaced with that energy, causing additional cramping and extreme pain, because that's literally the purpose of it. Okay, it's the motive of why they were put there to begin with. Now, what you need to understand, though, is that, consider this. Another reason why it's strongly suspected that this is radio telemetry is because I want you to look at how I'm sitting. Now, and anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. So consider this. I'm sitting on the ground. I'm literally sitting on the ground inside my tent right now. So then, that would then make, when you're sitting on the ground, okay, with your legs folded like this, okay, like you see my legs folded, right? So, as I'm sitting on the ground, that means my behind, the bottom of my butt, that means the bottom of my butt is literally sitting on the ground. So, let's take a look at, so this berm that you see is let's see where it's at. Hold on. Get it back out here. Bear with me a second. Oh. Okay, so related to where my belly button is, okay, there's the belly button, right? So the burn is right there. Okay, see it? Okay, so that is a good, okay, let me just try and figure out how many inches it's down. So I'd say this burn is about an inch, 1 inch, between 1 inch and 1 inch, and either like between 1/8 and 0.25. So that would be 1 inch, and then between the measure of 1/8 and 0.25, okay, below the belly button over to the left, a little bit over to the left. I'd say within an inch left of the you know, it's like this. Here, the belly button would be at where the knuckles are, okay, and so the knuckle is where the belly button is, and then if you see the direction that the fingers are going, it's on an angle about an inch and 1.18 inch over, on a little bit of an angle over towards the left. Okay, now you need to really take a look at this eye. Look at this. Okay, look at this. Okay, so take a snap screenshot of that. They fried me all night last night. I've had a splitting migraine. They targeted this whole area last night, non-stop, continually. That means every second of every minute, of every half hour, of every hour. Okay, non-stop. I fell asleep. So, 2 things. Again, take consecutive snap screenshots of my eyes. Okay, this whole area is burnt. Okay. And the migraine is being felt from the temple all the way over to here in the whole eye. Okay? So look at that. Look at all that extreme redness. Look at that. Okay? Look at the other eye, and then look at this one. Now, when I was laying down last night, this eye I was laying down on my left side. So that meant this eye was facing up towards the sky and the left temple. Look at that. Okay? So, let me... excuse me, please. Let me just explain to you what I endured once I got here. So, I turned on my phone after I got pretty much everything inside the tent. And I was still unpacking, you know, like the sleeping bag and stuff like that. And I turned on my phone within about 10 minutes of me entering the tent and sitting down and starting to unpack the rest of the stuff inside of it. And I turned on the phone, and it was 6 o'clock. Now, I made a statement in my running recording digital tape recorder that is set by date and time. Let me do something here real fast. Bear with me. Thankfully, the tape recorder is not in the record mode anymore. It probably just ran out of batteries. But I know the tape recorder was in the record mode when I got in a tent last night because I made statements in it. And I looked at it and the red light was on. Now, so by the time I got the tent set up and then got inside of it and then started unpacking the bedding and stuff, I turned on the phone and it was I think it was like 6:06. And then as soon as I got the bedding, I started experiencing intermittent attacks, direct energy weapons, okay, to the legs, the knees, and which is the reason why I said look at when you go back and you look at my statement I made a few minutes ago, the bottom of my butt is sitting on the ground. So now every single 90% of the time, at least, when I'm experiencing this abdomen targeting, I'm sitting on the ground with my legs folded in the way that I showed you a few minutes ago. So how are they able to target the waist, okay, and the stomach and the abdominal area when most of these wooded areas I'm at are down into a ravine, okay? So that means then that there's a slope from the road down towards the ground from the road. So say if you're on a road and you enter a wooded area, and when you enter it, there's a slope that's at least, let's say, anywhere between 40 and 60 feet down on a 45-degree angle. Then you're down in a ravine. It's not really a ravine, but that's just the term I'm using because that will give you like an immediate visual, a visual view of what I mean. You're down way off the road by at least 60 feet. Okay? So if you're down off a ravine by 60 feet, then you walk 200 feet away from the road, you're still down at least 50, 60 feet off in a ravine. So how am I being targeted to the waist as I'm sitting on the ground in the ravine? Why is there an engine sound, okay, in the environment every fucking night, including in the morning when I wake up? Okay, why does that engine sound get immediately turned down when I turn on one of my tape recorders to try and record them, which is what you see right here, because I got two tape recorders. This is my Amazon tape recorder I bought from Amazon. This is one I bought from Best Buy. This one right here is usually in the record mode 98% of the time at least. This one was turned on upon waking up because I heard the engine sound. Okay, as soon as it got dark out last night. And then when I woke up 2-3 times in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, okay, and then when I finally woke up this morning at around 8:30, which is, for me, is massively oversleeping, okay, I turned it on and I put it over right here. This type of tent has got a very, 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 you can literally see through it somewhat over towards up in here towards the bottom. And as soon as I put this tape recorder, the second I put this tape recorder in record mode, that engine sound dropped by 80%. Now this has been notated and experienced by me on hundreds of dates, okay? Now how are they able to determine I'm putting a tape recorder on in order to try and catch the specific engine sound itself through the non-consensual like Crystal Ocular Islands implants that these little wild filthy whores put in my eyes, okay? Literally. So go into the YouTube channel that you're watching this video through and look at the videos and you'll see them, because those islands implants are exposed probably in at least 30 videos. At least. So how are they hitting my abdomen and my waist below the belly button as my butt is on the ground with my legs folded, while I got massive shielding on trying to protect it? How are they still able to get through? Now, the only way that something like this could occur, and the way that it's occurring, and the pain that it's affecting, the only way that this could be happening is that if something's on the fucking property, like emitters, and or concerning what's reported online concerning what these wild demonic maggots rely on, victims of this crime all over the country are finding transducers, antennas, emitters, okay, and even Wi-Fi boxes on in and around their homes, which can be considered then to be in between technology between the victim and them. And So that strongly suggests that what they're doing is that they're using the emitters, okay, and the antennas and whatever else these demonic horrors are using as a relay system. So it's a relay system, including radar. Okay, just Google all my statements to gang stalking. So that strongly suggests, I mean, because these are physical apparatuses, just like you saw my tape recorders just now. Just like you just saw my tape recorders just now. Tape recorders, anything you see here that I'm showing you, okay, these are physical items, okay? They got physical constitutions and physical integrity. They are in real-time physical matter. Well, so are emitters and antennas and transducers and anything else that these wild, demonic, vile animals rely on. Okay? So then, therefore, then, we can sit back and easily deduce with common sense that these things serve a purpose. And since they're electrical components and devices, then we can say, okay, well, if this is widely reported to be, okay, things that have been discovered, things that are widely reported and discussed that these wild animals rely on, then we can easily say then that something is communicating with them. So then once that communication takes place and it's used as a relay, so that then those apparatuses, okay, interface with the victim. Because think about what I'm saying. If I'm down off a ravine and these wild satanic horrors, I have no doubt in my mind at all that they got some of these syndicated, organized crime, filthy animals within the area. There's massive homes around this area. Okay, there's condos and homes all around this area. And it is widely reported that we're literally dealing with a crime. Just Google all my statements. It's widely reported that we're dealing with a crime that will absolutely, rent homes and apartments directly adjacent to and around victims. Okay, hold on one second. Right? So they can easily be in the area, because why would a crime not operate? Why would a crime, see, if they weren't, they would be operating outside of the way they operate, because it's widely reported they heavily rely on that part, that aspect of the crime that they perpetrate, because it is widely reported they need to be, okay, in adjacent buildings and apartments and homes around the victims so that they can more effectively, okay, perpetrate their criminalities. So with that being said, So with that being said, it's obvious that that serves a purpose, right? But if a victim goes into an area that makes it a little bit more problematic for them to reach the victim, then that would also strongly suggest that these wild demonic animals are relying on in-between technology. We as human beings, one thing that God did give us is the ability to reason, the ability to take a matter, review it, contemplate it, research it when needed, okay, and come to a conclusion. And so when we got tens of thousands of people on the internet saying and exposing what they've learned about this crime, what they experienced through this crime, and a vast majority of them are talking about emitters, transmitters, transducers, antennas, and even these demonic rats, okay, propping up even portable Wi-Fi boxes. And you should also know that another widely reported aspect of this crime is got to do with satellites. Now, in fact, I just saw on Twitter, literally, not even a half hour ago, and this is the absolute truth, there's a guy on Twitter, and he's been posting this quite often lately. He exposed the bills that Dennis Kucinich was trying to pass back in 2002 related to the Space Preservation Act, okay? So, concerning psychotronics. And Congress wouldn't allow it to be passed with those terms being in the bill. But he at least tried to get it incorporated within the bill in order to try and protect Americans from psychotronics torture from space-based satellites. So Google the hell out of that, the gang stalking. Oh, absolutely. I think it's Bill 2977. Well, I just viewed that on Twitter within not even 6 minutes before I started this video, because I was on Twitter. I went on Twitter real fast. So if they're using, because that's just one of many reported modes of operation that these demonic bitches are using. I'm pissed right now, so please excuse my language. That these demonic animals are depending upon. Well, if this technology can be perpetrated by and through radio telemetry and a bunch of other different modes of operation, do you honestly think that it can't be perpetrated by and through a portable satellite? You ever see some of these movies on Hollywood where they got special forces landing in an area, and in order for them to set up their communications, one of the soldiers will get out this portable satellite dish, open it up, okay, and then it becomes and then it's just basically literally a satellite dish, okay, no bigger than probably 2 feet in width and 2 feet in height. Portable satellite dishes. Now, so what needs to be at least pondered upon is that how the hell are they able to? Because think about what I'm saying. You literally just saw a direct energy weapon burn below my belly button. Okay, about an inch, let's just say at the very most, an inch and a half below the belly button, on a let's just say 25 to 30 degree angle to the left of the belly button. So if I'm sitting down, which is the vast majority of the time when they hit me in the abdomen, causing non-stop excruciating pain for hours on end, then how are they able to target the area of my body like that when I'm sitting on the ground down in a ravine? That strongly suggests that what these wild maggots are doing, because this wooded area I'm at affords them the ability to come on this property even in the daytime from other directions. There's a lot of foliage on this property that allows them to enter this property from multiple different directions, and the foliage would be their ability to keep their physical presence from being able to be noticed. And they're not going to come on the property making a lot of noise, whether it be day or night. It would be very easy for these satanic rats, okay, to place a drone on the property. I've already caught drones in videos in real time being on the property at night. And the fact that when these drones are caught on July 6, 2022, they were targeting my head and my face, okay, as I was laying down. They were literally caught on video, okay? Literally. So, and so just in closing, when we think about it's widely reported in gang stalking crimes that these demonic bitches, I hate these motherfuckers more than I can express. Oh, absolutely. And so do all other victims can't stand these wild whores. They hate them beyond mathematical measure because they're nothing but sadistic animals. Okay, oh, absolutely. Here I was last night getting set up, and then as soon as I got set up, okay, I started experiencing extreme cold to the point of shivering. So what caused my body temperature to drastically drop to the point of shivering while I started feeling extremely nauseated to the point of throwing up? Okay. Well, right below my throat and right around the area of my throat and right below it, I was experiencing massive targeting to the chest. Okay, I felt like I could hardly breathe. My temperature rapidly dropped almost instantly, bringing me to the point of shivering. My lower jaw was literally going up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, as if you were like in 30 degree below weather outside with just a shirt on. You start massively shivering. Well, that's what happened to me last night. I was just non-stop, uncontrollably shivering. Okay, and then I started throwing up. Okay, then I started experiencing extreme drowsiness on set all of a sudden. Then I fell asleep, and then all night throughout the night, at least once I woke up throwing up, and each time I woke up to go to the bathroom, including that time when I threw up, I was experiencing extreme targeting to the right temple and the right eye, which you just saw the effects of. And I want you to log this. Well, I mean, what I meant to say was, I'm logging this, because look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And it's still in extreme pain. And do you see the white part of it? This is where the tissue, starts to become dead as a result of being hit And I was also experiencing extremely high levels of ultrasound as soon as I got here last night, too. You need to, I mean, really take a look at this. Compare this eye, okay, even though I don't know if they targeted this eye when I was sleeping last night, to this one. Now, one thing you need to also know, I'm going to state this and then let you go. One thing that also should be considered is that why are so many gang stalking victims saying that they believe there's an extreme likelihood that remote neural monitoring is stimulating drowsiness and stimulating arousal so they can't fall asleep. Okay? So those are two opposites. When you're extremely drowsy, you fall asleep instantly. Okay? When your brain is aroused, you can't fall asleep, resulting in insomnia. Now, if these demonic rats have predetermined what they're going to do to you for the night, okay, which is probably 99% of the time true concerning their targeting of all victims. In other words, when they do something, it's pre-planned because each thing they do is specific, exacting, and takes planning in order to execute it. So the targeting I endured last night was already planned by these wild whores before I even got to this area. Which, by the way, you need to also know this, and this is going to probably sound a little funny. But right before I moved to this spot, I was sitting in an area less than 150 feet away with massive stomach cramps all day long yesterday. Massive stomach cramps all day long. And then in my visual cortex, I kept repeatedly seeing this area in my visual cortex. I had used this spot before. Now, why is it reported that remote neural monitoring records everything you see and then will loop it back to you and present it as a thought? Okay? Because these wild maggots already know the dynamics of my life and my circumstance because they put me in it and are controlling it continually daily. Therefore, then they know that my body is going to signal me to get up and go to another spot because of the abdomen targeting. Okay? So then they know then that you're going to try and find another spot to escape it. Your body's going to tell you that. That's going to nudge your mind to act on it. So they already knew they were massively targeting the stomach and the waist, causing non-stop extreme pain. That went through all my shielding. Okay? Absolutely. And then so they know then that because they can see through the eye lens implants that I got up and took the tent down, packed everything up, and put it on my bike. Right? So then you go and sit at another spot, and then boom, you instantly get hit continually again to the abdomen. And then, so then they know you're going to move because they can see you packed up. And by the way, as soon as I got here last night, a fucking military helicopter did a parallel right by me, right in open view. I made a statement about it in my ticket order. Absolutely. So Google them to gang stalking concerning their reported connections to this crime. That is no lie. I literally made a verbal statement in my ticket court last night that as soon as I got here, a military helicopter went right fucking by me. Okay, directly parallel to me over towards, well, I don't know what direction that is, to be honest with you, because I've never had to bother to learn what is north, east, west, and south since I've been in San Diego since 2011, because I've never had to pay attention to it. Okay. So I know what direction that, I got to keep where I'm at, kind of concealed from visual exposure, even though I did show you this area a little bit. But anyways, it was if I was standing up facing the road, it would have been over to my left. And it was right up directly up in the sky, and it literally went between a bunch of bushes where I could see that it was a military helicopter. Now, it went by me within 5 minutes of me coming to the spot and then stopping. It literally went right directly by me. Now, last night when I was laying down, and the right side of my head was facing the sky, okay, and the eye itself was partially facing that direction, okay, and then the sky, how did they target me? Okay. So consider this. Drones are widely reported to be used in this crime. They can fucking come on the property, and especially if you got any type of, additional biomedical implants. Because, see, what you got to understand about gang stalking is that these demonic bitches are not, it's widely reported, including by doctors and scientists and professors, that these sick fucks are non-consensually biomedically implanting victims, and then using the implants as a transceiver, so they end up transmitting a signal. Therefore, then it is locked on to remotely. All right, because it's literally transmitting a signal. Therefore, they can determine where you're at and where the implant's at in order to then receive through a radio telemetry wave energy from a directed energy wave. So it's two waves that's being directed on the body. One is the tracker to the implant, so they can then send a second wave to it, which is then the directed energy weapon laser wave, which then interacts with the implant. The implant then conducts the energy from the directed energy weapons, and then therefore it fries you out from the inside out. Okay, I literally just recently caught two massive evidence. So go into this YouTube account you're watching this video through and look at the video that was uploaded on August 10th, 2022. And you want to start taking non-stop consecutive back-to-back snap screenshots once it reaches, memory serves me correctly, 3 minutes. Let's just say from 3 minutes and 21 seconds into it up to 4 minutes, and you're literally going to see electromagnetic waves coming into my tent. And if you take consecutive non-stop back-to-back snap screenshots from this time frame, you're literally going to see these waves entering the tent and interfacing with my forehead and directly along my eyebrows. Okay, directly along my eyebrows. I just tweeted a tweet concerning it right before I started making this video. Literally snap screenshots from it. And then you want to look at the video that's 9 minutes long that was uploaded on, memory serves me correctly, was uploaded on the 13th. Two videos were uploaded on the 13th. You want to pay attention to the video that's 9 minutes long, because these videos haven't been titled yet. Okay? And in that video, if memory serves me correctly, you want to start paying close attention to it when it reaches about 6 minutes and 45 seconds into it. And you're going to see the same shit, except my shielding is stopping the energy from coming into the tent. If you take non-stop consecutive back-to-back snap screenshots, you're literally going to see this energy not only attempting to enter my tent, some of it actually does from the ceiling of the tent, but concerning the ways that we're trying to make an entry into the tent on the side of the wall, it literally got stopped by shielding that I had on the tent. And it literally looks like electricity. It looks like the type of when you see like sometimes in a thunderstorm and you see the lightning coming down and then it branches off when it pops. You know, like when the thunderstorms will make a clap from the lightning bolt, and then the energy starts trickling out into the sky, where it literally looks like a bolt of electricity. That's exactly what you're going to see interfacing with me in the first video, the one August 10th, and then what you're going to see interfacing with the tent on both videos as it comes in contact with the shielding. And then in the video from the 10th, you're going to see as it comes in contact with me. You're literally going to see the energy. Literally. In the video and through the snap screenshots of the video. So I can already indisputably prove that these sadistic horrors, like right now, they're literally targeting the left side of my head. As it's facing this fucking hill on the property. Okay? So how is this possible? Well, there's homes all around this property, on the hill, on this side of the property, and across the street in fucking condos. Okay? So how are they hitting my waist when the bottom of my butt is sitting on the ground, okay, with my legs folded? How are they able to hit my waist in order to cause, and the side of my torso and the back of my torso, cause an extreme, non-stop, continuous, okay, pain throughout the entire day? Okay, so that strongly suggests biomedical implantation radio telemetry interface. Okay, so in closing, when you watch that video from August 10th and you take these snap screenshots you need to take from the video in that time frame, especially when you see me doing this, okay, right when I do this and show you when I'm involved in this behavior, when I'm pointing to the side of my tent, okay, you want to definitely be taking snap screenshots right before that. So you're going to have to watch the video at least twice so you see when that occurs. Because right after I do that pointing and bring the phone back to my face, you're going to see arcs of light going over my face, but you're also going to see, if you pay very close attention and take non-stop back-to-back continuous non-stop back-to-back snap screenshots, you're going to see two light beams interfacing with my cheek, right on the area of the cheek where I got a piece of copper tape on the right side of my cheek. Now, these two beams intersect at that point right on the copper tape. Okay? Now, I got massive evidence in my blog of snap screenshots from videos of me taking videos from the inside of my mouth showing direct energy weapon burns inside my mouth. So, if you got a biomedical implant in your cheek, if you got implants or conductive material that's widely reported that they'll inject into your forehead, inside your mouth, along the gum lines, in the roof of your mouth, the tongue of your mouth, and then they send this directed energy. One is a tracker, the tracker to the implant. So then once that tracker hones in on and connects with the implant, they then send a cross-sectional beam to it, which has got the energy on it. And if you take, literally, this is how bad this crime is. Widely reported. I literally got audio files showing people talk about it. So, when you should go to Google and type in at Google www.lonestarconsulting.com. And there's only about maybe 1% of what I've seen on that website so far that I don't agree with. A couple weird looking statements. But other than that, from what I've seen of it so far, that is an extremely informative website. And if you look in-depthly and meticulously long enough at that website, you are going to see this being discussed about how they send two beams. One will be a tracker, especially if that one track. Because think about it. Why are they sending you a beam that's a tracker unless it's then, okay, what is it tracking? It's tracking because that first beam, the tracker beam, has got a dedicated modulated amount of energy on it that is looking for the radio signal output of the implant dedicated to the body, the area of the body that's got the implant in it. And it is widely reported gang stalking victims are discovering and finding, including through private investigators, implants in their cheek. Okay, because think about it. Once it goes into, if you got an implant in your cheek and they send the tracker beam to the radio signal output of the implant that's in your cheek, that tracker beam locks onto it. Therefore, then, it's able to determine where to send the directed energy weapon beam to that fixed vectored spot. Right? And that's how then they know where the implant's at in order to send the directed energy weapon beam to it. And so when you take the consecutive snap screenshots of the August 10th, 2022 video, if you take these consecutive screenshots from the point I just showed you, when you bring that video up and you see me doing the pointing thing, okay, like this, okay, where I said it seems like it's coming from that way and I'm pointing, you want to be taking consecutive snap screenshots right before I say that and throughout, and then continually non-stop after I say that to at least 4 minutes and 10 seconds into the video. And you're going to see these light density beams intersecting with that fucking spot on the cheek where the copper tape is at on my cheek. Now, the likelihood of that happening accidentally or coincidentally, including more than once within the video within that time frame, there's no fucking way that's an accident. Plus, you see arcs of light also intersecting with my fucking eyebrows. Now, when I woke up that morning, I woke up with a directed energy weapon, radiation headache, and extreme burning in the right edge of my left eyebrow. Okay? I made statements about it in my tape recorder the fucking second I woke up. The second I woke up, I made statements in my tape recorder saying they fucking fried me while I'm sleeping. Okay, I said my left cranium is on fire and the edge of my left eyebrow on the right side, the right edge on the left eyebrow, is burning like a bitch. And then I decided to make a video about an hour and a half later after I woke up, which was then around 11 o'clock, because when these fucking filthy whores fry you while you're sleeping, you end up oversleeping because you're not getting the rest you need. All night last night, I woke up 5 times with my right temple burning, and so I finally turned over, okay, and was resting then, my right side of my head on the ground, and the pain immediately started subsiding, but it didn't stop, also suggesting radiotelemetry. And what the fuck is this engine sound that I've heard around my environments non-stop now since 2018? Every fucking night. I even hear it when I wake up in the morning. And then it just suddenly goes away. What is this engine type sound I hear? What the fuck is that? That strongly suggests a drone or a demonic bitch in the area in a truck or a van who's then using the equipment from a distance and then that equipment makes the noise. Also widely reported. Okay, just think about this. Look at my friggin' eye. Think about what I'm saying. Look at my eye. Do you really think this appeared on my eye overnight because nothing happened? Look at my eye. Okay, and then takes consecutive screenshots. Concerned fact, let me do one right now. I don't think this is going to stop the video from recording, but if it does, then you can just consider I said, okay, thank you for listening, have a good day. Because I'm going to take a snap screenshot from my eyes right now. Hold on. Okay, so the video is still recording. Now, I had thoughts last night, actually yesterday afternoon. Look at that. Would you just look at that? Okay. Now, you can see that it's obvious. The reason why you see this white stuff here is because something is well, I already know I'm enduring ultrasound, and ultrasound is the carrier wave for anything I see with these remote neuromonitoring eyelids implants, which are biofilm like crystal ocular eyelids implants. Anything I fucking see at all times, okay, is seen by these wild demonic bitches who are then fucking recording it. Research my statements concerning remote neuromonitoring seen through victims' eyes. As crazy and bizarre as it sounds. Literally. Right? So, now, how are these embedded light crystals within these biofilm eyelids implants? They need a power source. As of right now, it's reported that they're getting powered by and through the electrical, chemical, and or electrophysiological signal outputs that are generated from blinking. Okay? Now, though, it might not be enough if you're not blinking a lot. So then, would they want to then send energy, okay, to the skin? The energy then gets absorbed into the skin, into the musculatory system, which also then gets processed in that surrounding tissue and what is within the tissue, okay? I don't know if you want to call them veins or just vessels, you know, it eventually interfaces with the musculatory. See, because I admit that I'm a little short on terms right now because I don't know enough yet concerning this area of these eyelids implants. But what's happening here, and what I strongly suspect here, based on evidence that I've captured, is that once the energy absorbs in this area of the face, okay, and it definitely seems like the nose, the ears, and the eyes are intimately connected concerning some of the type of targeting I'm enduring, and possibly even the jaw and the throat. Just hear me out. I know I'm not giving you enough information for you to understand this, but you're just going to have to trust me on this. So when the energy gets absorbed in the musculatory tissue of the eyes and the surrounding area, it is somehow seeping into whatever is enabling that energy to then interface with the eyelids implants, strongly suggesting either smart light crystal threads and or hooks, which then allows the energy to flow through it to then flow through into the biofilm, which then lights up the light crystals embedded within them. So if they need additional energy, then they need for somehow to be able to interface with that area of the face. Because think about what I'm saying. Look at me. Do you notice all about how all this is white? Okay, and I've even got videos showing these white streams trickling down towards by the ear. Okay? Look at that. Okay? Look at that. And then the energy also flows directly along the eyebrows, going through here. A lot of times it feels like it's going over the nose. And then I've even got video pictures and photos from them concerning going over to the ears. Okay? So what the fuck is these assholes fucking put in me? I ever catch these wild whores. Make no fucking mistake about it. I ever find out the name of these 6 satanic bitches that are fucking doing this sick shit to me. So, my fellow American citizens, I have every right as a human being to expose this, because no one has a right to do this to me. No one has a right to enter my life non-consensually, okay, and do one crime to me for 1 second. But we are dealing with a pathology that says to itself, and then through its actions, we'll fucking do whatever we want, because we can do it remotely, not allowing you to identify us, okay, while allowing us to perpetrate anything we want on you intentionally. I was strongly considering yesterday to myself about going to the hospital today to get medical records from Scripps Mercy Hospital related to some CAT scans. Now, every single time, literally, every single time in the past year and a half that I have said this to myself, and I know this is going to sound funny, every single time that I have said to myself, tomorrow I'm going to Scripps, other times tomorrow I'm going to UCSD Medical Center to get x-rays of my head and or torso, by me just going there and stating I'm experiencing pain and nothing else, I get so fucking massively targeted that night and throughout the night to the point to where I wake up so sick I can't go anywhere. That is the absolute, complete, thorough, pure truth. What would allow these whores, to know that type of information that I'm processing to myself? Is it remote neural monitoring, subbuccal speech monitoring? Because if these little wild demonic bitches don't want you fucking going anywhere, okay, then they're gonna make you so fucking sick you don't feel well enough. Because think about this: when I got my fucking tent last night at this spot for the first time in years, I haven't utilized this spot right here since 2016. But it's obvious that I seen this spot in 2016 when I was interfacing with it. So, is one of the reported ways that these islands implants are being used is by and through recording what you see, okay, harvesting it, obviously, if they're recording it, harvesting what you see, and then retransmitting it back to gang stalking victims' visual cortex, portraying it as a in real-time pictorial thought, so that the victim says, okay, this is my thought about where I'm going to for tonight, because I got to escape from the other spot. Now, why would they want you to come to this spot if they got that capacity to do that? Because they already had tech on the property at this area, like the emitters and stuff. But when a lot of times it's reported with that when they will do things like this, they can also stimulate the feeling of euphoria, which trick the brains into believing that you like this thought. Okay? Oh, absolutely. You wouldn't believe what this technology is capable of. Because they got to make it appear attracted to you, appealing to you, that this would be a good area. What was I thinking last night before I moved here? Well, I saw the visual imagery of this spot over 30 times in my visual cortex in less than 40 minutes. While I was experiencing, I don't know if you want to say euphoria is the right word for it, but an attractiveness to it. Memories of how, because when I was here before in 2016, I was not experiencing the direct energy weapons attacks every day like I'm doing now, nonstop statistically. So, therefore, then the brain is remembering, and I was remembering yesterday, I moved to this spot because in 2016 I wasn't being hit at this spot. So they're tricking the brain into believing that if you move back here, you're not going to endure it because the last time you were using it, you weren't enduring it. But you see, what they're doing, though, as well, concerning what the other reported features and functions of remote neural monitoring, is that what they're doing then also is interrupting your thought processes. So you don't think, well, it doesn't matter if I wasn't targeted here in 2016. I know through experience that I've been targeted at 53 wooded areas that I moved to and from since 2018. That right there would tell anybody that they're now got the capacity to do it no matter where you go, no matter if you go to a place that you've never endured it before, but since now you're enduring it every day at 53 different wooded areas, okay, then there's a damn likelihood you're going to experience it once you get here, but your brain is not processing that. Is it because it's widely reported that remote neural monitoring interrupts your thought process and also engages in what? Memory blanking. All this shit can be done simultaneously. So you don't think the matter through in this way. Because they want to present it to you as an attractive place to go. They're tricking the brain into believing that, oh, I didn't endure here in 2016. Okay, so maybe if I go here, I won't endure it, but then almost, and this is going to sound even a little bit more peculiar, but then your brain is also slightly telling you, well, I've endured it at 53 different wooded areas, so I'm probably going to endure it here, so what's the use? If I move here or not, I'm going to endure it no matter where I end up at. So then your brain just says, well, give up, you might as well just go there because you got to go somewhere. Now, it's reported that when they do demonic wild shit like this is because they want the brain to experience contrasting information processing, contrasting related to the content. Okay, and because remote neural monitoring, these sick, vile horrors are here to do so much to you neurologically and biologically. All of it, nothing but brain and neurological mutilation. I mean, because I woke up, I'd say last night, at least 4 times in the middle of the night. And remember, before I went to bed, I was throwing up. Okay, absolutely. Why did my body temperature drop within a second and stayed that way all the way up until the time to where I finally laid down and I had to get out 5 pieces of my additional shielding, okay, just to try and stay warm. I had to literally pull my sweatshirt cuffs of my wrist up over my hands. I was literally shivering so bad that I could not stop my lower jaw from going up and down. What caused my fucking body temperature to drastically drop like that? And then what caused the nausea to the point of throwing up? So I threw up last night before I went to bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night and threw up. Okay? And then you're seeing the effects of the temple and right eye targeting. Look at this. Just look at this. Look at that. Okay? Look at that. Now, do you really believe that this manifested because something's not interfacing with me? Do you really believe that I imagined this pain? Because imagination is not going to produce physical manifestations. Okay? So let me show you where this area is, and I gotta let you go. Because I'm feeling a little bit better. So I figured since I'm kind of... I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with my day. I'm more than likely just going to hang around. So we're going to see if these demonic, vile animals prop up anybody on the friggin' property. Okay. But, you know, so what I just stated a few minutes ago concerning about how they... Because thought manipulation is one of the biggest widely reported things occurring in this crime. Just go to Google and type in gang stalking, your thoughts are no longer your own. Well, memory referencing can absolutely play a role in your in real-time pictorial and logistic thought processes, because when you are using pictorial imagery to assist you in thinking about a matter, just like when you're thinking about what to eat for lunch, look at how many visual images flash in your mind concerning, well, I want to make tacos. Well, do I got taco shells? Do I got taco sauce? Do I got enough hamburger? And your mind is going to retrieve that data. You know, the visual imagery of how many taco shells you had left when you put your taco shells away the last time you had tacos. Your brain is going to remember how much meat your brain saw you have left over when you put the meat away the last time you were using it. So your brain is going to look for what your brain saw pertaining to when you put your jar of taco sauce back in the refrigerator the last time you used it. Because your brain is saying to yourself, do I got enough ingredients left to make tacos today? So as you're thinking this with language, your brain is retrieving the pictorial visual imagery of these items so that you can then come to a conclusion, do I have enough material to make tacos? That's a great example of pictorial thinking combined with linguistic thinking. Do I have enough tacos? That's linguistic. While then your brain incorporates the visual memory references of each ingredient related to making the tacos, so you can then come to a conclusion, do I have enough ingredients to make the tacos today? That's a great example of pictorial thinking. Pictorial thinking, because you got pictorial imagery playing a role in your linguistic language thinking related to a subject matter your mind is reviewing, so you can come to a conclusion, do I have enough stuff to make tacos? So that's a great example of pictorial thinking, where you're doing logistic thinking and then your visual memory references related to the content of your verbal thinking, the tacos, do I have enough to eat, comes to mind and plays a role in with the logistic thinking. There is your then pictorial thinking. Well, that's what these fucking filthy whores do pertaining to what's reported. They know you're looking for a place to run to try and escape this bullshit. Okay, right? So then, therefore, then in 2016, when I was using this area, everything I saw when I was at this area got recorded by them because of the islands implants. They then record it, harvest it. They know your current circumstance because they're continually responsible for it every day, which means they know you're trying to run from this shit. Okay, which is why, another reason why they probably made the abdomen targeting so fucking bad. Because they have gotten to a point, if they know that you have got to a point to where you're now understanding why you can't escape it, the radio telemetry, okay, well, you say to yourself, well, even if I move, maybe I might be able to disturb their ability to interface with me continually because I'm picking a new spot, and maybe they just might not be able to interface with me as often as they were at the last spot. So your brain is going through all these different deliberations. Okay? Because a lot of times when you get up and move around, you can cause problems of them interfacing with you, because you gotta remember, if you got a biomedical implant in your fucking stomach, in your torso, in your bladder, wherever the hell these wild whores put it at, they still gotta lock onto you. So when you're moving around during the day, that causes them issues. But once you sit stationary, boom, they got you. Okay? I'm surprised I'm not dealing with it right this second. And I have no doubt in my mind at all, I'll probably start dealing with it